And what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Fatality, MK retrospective. I'm your Fluff Master Supreme, the one who knows the combos to make Sindel scream, Mr. Big Johnny D. And allow me to introduce my illustrious co-host, the man with me every week, that doppelganger kanga banger, Mr. Brody Kano Kane.
Howdy, howdy, mother lickers.
Today is the 5th of June already. We are in June already. Fuck, dude. And we got a doozy of an episode for you today. We're going to be talking about 1997's Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And this is going to be a fun episode. If you don't know what Annihilation is, you should go check the shit out and then come back and listen to our review. If you do, well, I'm sure you have an idea of where we're going to go with this guy. But before we dive into that deliciousness, we like to do a little subject called a little slice and dice, if you will. Talk about what we did in the last week. So, Brody, how you been, brother?
Been very well, mate. Very well indeed. Yeah, like I say, pretty much nearly every week, though, not much has been happening down this way. I can't really think of. I went and ordered, like I think I mentioned this last week on the episode, how I bought some Diabolic Blu-rays. They're finally shipped because I've been waiting for them bad boys to make an appearance down this way for a while. But I think that was because everyone was just smashing out buying all these Blu-rays. So yeah, no, they finally sent them. So I'm looking forward to actually watching them. I've actually been binge watching the shit out of the Puppet Master franchise.
Ooh,
I don't know. I just got this sudden urge.
And how many is there? Like 13?
I think it's like 13, 14.
Fuck,
yeah.
Dude, that's a binge.
Fucking oath. And like the first half was okay, like of the franchise, but it's getting pretty bad now. But yeah, it's so bad yet so good, and I love that shit. Actually, that also reminds me, I've actually been contemplating whether or not to buy a replica-sized torch puppet from the Puppet Master thing over at Full Moon. Is it Full Moon Direct? I'm pretty sure it is. So they're actually selling replicas. But the only problem is that Torch's head looks nothing like the film.
Really?
It's a really weird. Like, so I was talking to TJ about this actually, and he's got a blade. Now his blade looks exactly like the film, and it looks actually really fucking fantastic. Then he was like, "Dude, head over to Full Moon Direct to suss them out." Now they've released these new versions of the puppets, and I got to admit, the Torch puppet looks really, really bad. It looks cheap. Like it. So with the previous Torch, it actually give you that metal helmet looking with the eyes cut out, the holes in the bullet teeth looking thing. This is like just a mold of plastic, and they've painted on the bullet teeth and the eyes. Really not that impressed with it at all. Everything else is okay with it, the clothes and all that shit. But yeah, so yeah, it's really like. It's really fucked. So I'd have to customize it. I'd have to get someone to customize it or print out, I don't know, a 3D replica head of the OG and get someone to paint it or something. Yeah.
No shit, dude.
Yeah, it's
that kind of sucks, man. Like, of course,
absolutely.
The other one's probably out of print. I'm assuming you said, right? Or maybe you didn't.
Yeah. Yep.
It's one of those ones where maybe like you get it and you see if you can print it or repaint it yourself. You know what I mean? Give it like a little redux action going on.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a bit happening with that head that just does not do it for me. I've even looked up YouTube videos for like people reviewing it, and they're happy with it. Sadly,
Really?
I'm not. Yeah, sadly, I'm not. Yeah, but they do point out. They go, look, it's not obviously like the previous the previous release in that sense. So,
Correct.
Yeah, but that's my little rant for today. Other than that, Mr. Johnny D,
Yeah, buddy.
been good, mate. How you been, brother?
Oh, I've been pretty good, man. Had a little sadness in our family over the last week. Won't go too into it, man. Don't want to bring down the episode by any means. Long story short, buried my wife's grandfather. He was a great man. Glad he's not suffering anymore. We'll leave it at that. I'll just say rest in power. Other than that, I had a nice little cookout today with some friends. They brought over their daughters so my daughter can have a play date, which she severely needed. And it was good, man. I, of course, manned up the grill and made I made a delicious fatty today. Now, do you know what that is by chance, buddy?
Okay, I might take a shot. Wait, you made a delicious fatty.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about like the TJ and I like fatty, but I mean like something you'd throw on the grill. And it's actually really it's pretty simple what it actually is, but it's just always funny that way you call it.
Is it a bit of meat wrapped up in bacon and then cooked?
Yes, sir.
Is it?
So, yep. Boom. You had it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it was yeah, man. So I took like 2.5 pounds of burger, put in all the good, some fixings, some onion, garlic, little paprika, little smoked paprika, actually, a little action there. And then chunks of cheddar cheese, put that shit in the center, man. Roll that shit up nice and tight. Then bust out that bacon, baby. Make that sweet ass bacon weave, dude. Then fucking I salt and pepper that shit up. Then fucking roll that shit up like a nice old fat fucking blunt.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Rub that shit. Oh my God. I mean, essentially it's just a bacon cheeseburger to the extreme.
Fuck.
But it's so fucking good, dude. And obviously you can go crazier with this shit too. You know what I mean? Like you could add like onions and peppers and whatever the fuck you want in the center. But dude, it was shit was money, man. I want to smoke orgasmic. Dude, I had to empty I had it cooking in just some throwaway like tinfoil pans, right? Them bitches were soaking in grease. I had to dump that shit out like 3 different fucking times, man. It was ridiculous. But no, man, enjoyed the pool. Today we got in the second time. That was nice. I'm glad everybody got to come over and utilize it a little bit because it's been open for almost 2 weeks and we haven't been able to fucking use it because it's been cold as shit.
Yep.
Other than that, man, I watched this movie while I was doing show notes today. Did I have to? No, I didn't. But I wanted to because, whatever. And yeah, just doing my prep for Gore and More on Monday and then doing a little gaming. Actually, here's one. So this is nothing Mortal Kombat, even though I've been playing a little bit of fighters. Downloaded Conan Exiles, dude. It's kind of a fun game. It's a survival game. It's been out for a while. It's not like super new by any means, but you can team up with like 9 of your buddies and all join your own clan and you just survive. But you can like make your own like houses and shit like that. And then you learn like different attributes and like eventually you start with like clay structures and you can get to like metal and all that other good shit. But yeah, dude, it's
pretty cool.
It's pretty fun, man. Like I usually don't get into games like this too much, but for some reason this one's kind of like hooking me in a little bit. And it might be just because they're throwing the word Conan on it and they have like an introduction movie with Conan. He kind of shows up and then he disappears again. And I'm like, oh, yeah, because dude, I'm a fan. And Maneater, dude. I've been finally playing that. And that's that shark RPG, dude. That shit's fun as fuck.
I've not heard of this.
They dropped it on Game Pass. Dude, think of Grand Theft Auto, but with a shark. That's the easiest way to explain it. It's just open world shark RPG. So you just eat fish and people and there's like shark hunters that you got to fucking fight, but then there's other like sharks and alligators and other predators in the sea or in the ocean that you also have to deal with. And yeah, man, it's fucking fun. It's crazy. You can upgrade your shark. I won't get that too far into it, but it's fun fucking shit, awesome. Dude. Yeah, take a look at that shit when you do get a chance. But other than that, man, I say we hop on in for what we're going to talk about today.
Hell yeah.
And that would be Mortal Kombat Annihilation, 1997. You want to take it away there, buddy?
That I can, sir. So we'll start off with our director, who is John R. Leonetti, producer Lawrence Kasanoff, writers Lawrence Kasanoff, Joshua Wexler, John Tobias, Brent Fieldman, who wrote the screenplay, and Bryce Zabel, who also wrote the screenplay. Starring Robin Shaw as Liu Kang, Talissa Soto as Katana, James Remar as Raiden, Sandra Hess as Sonya Blade, Lynn Red Williams as Jax, Brian Thompson as Shao Kahn, Rena Shkone as Shinnok, Maseta Vanda as Sindel. Hopefully I said that correctly. Arana Pantieva as Jade. Darren McBee as Mataro. Margine Holden as Shiva.
Yeah.
Well, this would be a good one. Is it Lightfoot as
Lightfoot? Yeah, his name is just Lightfoot.
Damn.
That's what I got. Yeah. He's legit.
Chris Conrad as Johnny Cage. John Medlin as Ermac. JJ Perry as Cyrax, Scorpion, and Noob Cybot. Tyrone Wiggins as Rain. Dennis Kiefer as Baraka. Ridley Sui as Smoke. Keith Cook as Sub-Zero. And Dana He as Melina.
Yeah, buddy.
Fucking solid casting.
Mm-hmm. So music, we got coming back from the last one, we got Mr. George S. Clinton. And you know what? This might be a hot take, but the soundtrack of this might be the best part of this whole fucking movie.
I actually wrote that in my notes.
just throwing it out there, but yeah, now. Soundtrack was fucking dope, man. I had them both. I wish I still had them. I don't know whatever the fuck happened to them, but I should totally get them again. And we actually had some repeats from the first one as well of
yes.
little KMFDM action going on, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah. Cinematography, we have Matthew F. Leonetti, edited by Peck Pryor, distributed by New Line Cinemas. Release date November 21st, 1997. A runtime of 95 minutes. It could be a very long 95 minutes, depending on how you take this movie. Budget of $30 million. Surprisingly, with and let me say, worldwide take of $51.3 million. Yeah.
I was impressed myself. Yeah,
opening weekend, this did, if I believe I took it down, I should have wrote it in my notes. I think this pulled in about 19.5 its opening weekend, dude, in the States and Canada, which is pretty fucking good, dude. If I don't know if that's inflated to this time, like, you know, the where money is now, but or if that was actually then. And if that was then, that's pretty good because, well, fuck, man, the new MK for 2021 only pulled in what, 22 for its opening weekend.
Yep.
So fuck, man. But all right, yeah. I still, man, 51.3 worldwide. That's pretty damn good. All right, so this is where we usually throw up the trailer. However, for some reason, the our service here just would not let me upload our video, but I can do it kind of in a little bit of a ghetto-ish way here. We're gonna pull it up so it's underneath us, and then I'm gonna make it widescreen from there.
was created in 6 days, so too shall it be destroyed.
Your planet, our world, has begun to merge into one realm. Think of it as hell on Earth.
I thought our victory closed those portals.
Mother. If I am correct, your mother Sindel is the key to all of this. By reuniting you with her, Khan's spell will be broken.
This is the beginning of the end!
Khan's portals stay open.
Pretty cool, huh? Raiden?
It's a new look.
Prepare for final battle!
All righty. So that was the trailer for this delicious 1997 movie that we got. Man. I mean, what do you want to say about this, buddy? This is where we discuss. So,
I mean, that trailer was much better than the movie.
That's fair.
Look,
you know what it is?
Yeah.
If I could say so far, if I could just say this right off the bat, this movie was just, we need to throw as many of these characters in this movie as we can, just so as everybody can have their character in the movie, no matter what they do or don't do. Let's just say that more so. And that's what we got in the trailer. You got all your characters, so you're like, oh yeah, but then that's exactly what the movie is too. You're like, oh okay.
Yeah, it was just like a rush script. It was like someone had written maybe 1 or 2 drafts of the script. Okay, we've got all our characters in there. We just got to throw in a bunch of fucking fight scenes, and that'll give the fans what they want. Sadly, no.
Yeah, and I mean, shit, this is, how many writers did you read? And we even had John Tobias on here. One of the actual co-creators of Mortal fucking Kombat, dude, was actually part of the writing committee of this movie.
So it was
5. How often do we actually, dude, in any other movie that we reviewed on any other podcast, how often do you ever have that many writers that we read off? I mean,
that just spells recipe for a disaster for a start. I mean, you have 5 chefs in the kitchen trying to fucking like
too many cooks, dude.
That's it.
Yeah. You said it perfectly. It's just, when I was typing up show notes and I was instantly putting that, I was like, wow, that seems like a lot of writers. And I checked a couple different sources and it was the same. And I was like, okay. I was like, this seems odd, because usually you only get 1, maybe 2, randomly 3, not 5.
Yeah.
That means it's got passed around way too much, dude. And
fucking rewrites. That's what it would have been.
This is unfortunately where the studio is just like, listen, we made money, we want to make more money. Okay. Well, there's a right way to make money and there's a wrong way. And they made their money. They did. But they could have done so much more and so much better. And I mean, dude, we get some bad CGI in the first one, but the CGI in this is just laughable from the get-go.
Yes, this feels like a fan film. I just got to say it feels like a fan film.
It does, dude. You're just like, how did they get Robin Shaw to fucking get into this shit? You know what I mean? Like the fact that him and Talisa Soto reprised their roles and everybody else was like, no, fuck this piece of shit. Like, and they did. Lyndon Ashby turned it. He read the script. He's like, nope. Fucking Lambert, he wrote it, and then he ended up doing where the fuck did he end up going? He ended up going some other route, doing some other movie. I can't remember at the time.
Might have been no, it wasn't Resurrection. Might have
been
no.
Was it Beowulf? I want to say it might have been Beowulf. I'd have to look that up again, but yeah, I don't know, man. This was a movie of just like, hey, I recognize that character. And that was cool when you were a kid. But even when you're a kid, I feel like you're still just like, I remember watching this movie. I didn't see it in theaters. I instantly got it as soon as it hit DVDs, or VHS, like day one. And being severely just like, I don't want to say disappointed, but like I was very underwhelmed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think I went back and watched the first one just to kind of wash the taste out of them.
I remember being in the video store with my brother, and we love the fucking first one. And I remember picking up the video for Annihilation and be like, oh, yes, we've got to watch this. And he just goes, no, put that back on the shelf. Grabbed it out of my hand and just sat it back on the shelf. He's like, nah, don't watch it.
We don't do that here.
we don't do that. But I eventually did end up watching it, and yeah, I understand why he did that. So
it's, and I'm just gonna say, like, I will watch this. I'm watching it right now. I watched it this morning. I've watched this movie more times than I could probably actually should tell anybody. You know what I mean? And it's not because it's a good movie, but it's just for some reason, it's that perfect amount of 90s cheese that I'm just kind of all about sometimes.
Yeah. And
I'll fully admit, dude, it is a terrible fucking movie, but I still love it. I don't know why. It's just the Mortal Kombat nostalgia. I think it's I don't know.
Everyone's got a guilty pleasure, mate.
It is, dude. And that's because you know what it is? I feel like they still kind of tried. They had that many characters, and they're like, yo, we're still going to try to give some fights. Some of them are going to be throwaways. There was a lot of throwaways. But that wasn't necessarily due to how it was particularly written. That was also due to budget constraints and filming and who could do what. And we got more about that in our behind the scenes. But shit, this one was kind of tight. And unfortunately, with the edit we got, it kind of screwed us as well. Yeah, buddy, I know, right? Looking a little toasty.
Toasty!
Fucking A, dude. Looked like I just came out of the fucking tanning bed.
If they had have extended, maybe potentially let it for another hour just to, sort of explain a little bit more of these characters and have them actually do something. Because they were just thrown in there. They were just thrown in there oh my God, there's Baraka. Oh my God, he takes his fucking hoodie off, maybe explore them a little bit further with an extra hour length, and it could have been flushed out a little bit better.
I agree. What's up, Mr. Pete Ward?
Pete Peterson.
What's up, you handsome man? No, I agree, man. If you maybe even gave it 45 minutes, you know what? Let's say give it half an hour. I think that's all you need. Yes, we are. Yes, we are talking about this terrible fucking movie. If you took out the animality bullshit, right? Save the money that you spent on that terrible fucking worse than Reboot in 94 CGI. And just put that to maybe a little bit more like character time. You know what I mean? Like, give us a better Motaro fight.
Yes.
Like, give us a little bit more fighting with Shiva or something. Like, Baraka, whatever.
Motaro was like the hardest character in the fucking game to beat, and he gets punched to death by Jax. And I'm like, how the fuck does that work? No,
yeah, Jax with no robot arms.
Yeah.
What? Oh shit, the boss man is here. What is up, Mr. TJ Bowser? We are doing fine. Thank you for asking. Thank you for joining.
On the piss tonight. Look at that. On
yeah.
the piss.
Pete, where Dexter's dad is Raiden. Yes. And
you will die.
You got to say with the you will die. Fucking Sindel's over just it's perfect. I think that's why I kind of love this movie, dude. Like you said, it's a guilty pleasure. I love to laugh at it. And I still love some of the fights because they're just so fucking cheesemo, dude. Like the Scorpion Sub-Zero fight was fucking crap, dude. Like they tried to sell that shit to us. They're like, hey, we finally get you guys. We finally get who you want to see fighting. You know what I mean? Like you didn't get in the first one. But they came in with these fucking cheap ass, like worse than cosplay looking MK3 costumes. Like, fuck, man.
So Scorpion can't die? Does he just keep coming back? Or is that
well, no, because I mean, like, funny enough, in the comics, in the OG comics, he died in like every comic, but then he just kept coming back because he's a Spectre. So,
true.
Yeah, so technically he's almost like he has infinite lives. He just respawns, right? He's got that Master Chief respawn.
Ooh, TJ. Ooh, Mud Wrestle Brody. Anytime, baby.
Yeah. I'd rather see the KY wrestling, but hey, that's all just me. I've
got the titties for that, don't worry.
Yeah. But I mean, what else can we discuss about this movie? Keeping with the costumes, all the costumes were crap.
Yes.
They all look, I don't know what was going on in the costume department here, man, but like, I feel they had better budget for costumes on Mortal Kombat Conquest, which was a fucking cheap ass show, versus this fucking movie, dude, which I'm telling you, man, they wasted the money on that shit CGI. I feel like that's where it had to go because you didn't really have any big fucking names. Robin Shaw was your biggest name in this goddamn movie.
Didn't he actually like start taking over like some of the fucking fight choreography on this?
He was the main fight choreographer for this movie, dude. So not only lead fucking dude, lead man, lead role, but this motherfucker's got to work on the side to teach everybody how to do their fight scenes, man. Like, what the fuck? This Liu Kang was like the most Liu Kang that anybody could have ever been. If they didn't have him in this movie would just tank that much worse. You know what I mean? Like, he is probably the saving grace of the movie. Talisa Soto, I guess you could give or take her either way. It does help that she is back. I don't mind the new Sonya. It's not Bridget Wilson. It's definitely a different Sonya.
She can throw down.
Yeah, and you know, she's kind of hot, so that works too.
TJ.
Dude. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about this. Good shot, P-Ward. So, Shao Kahn is one of the punks that gets killed by Arnold.
Nothing
alongside
clean, right?
What's that?
Nothing clean, right?
Right. And along with Bill Paxton, he's also a very Arnold-esque alien Terminator in the X-Files.
Ooh.
And I say Arnold-esque because in the very first episode he comes in, he is pulling straight Arnold Terminator look, dude. Like, he's got the jacket on and the white t-shirt, man. He's got the strong fucking jaw, just not looking, like just dead stare walking forward. Oh man. So I mean, anything else you got to say about this, buddy, before we dive into behind the scenes? This
I
is one that we
fell
could pick apart for days. You fell
Yeah,
asleep.
mate. I fell asleep halfway through this.
Yeah.
And then picked back up, and it was that scene where it was the fight with I think it was Baraka, and then when Baraka gets thrown into the flames, you see someone's hand catch him. Like, it's pretty. If it's not even fucking Baraka falling, it's one of the other actors.
It's the best boy grip. He's just fucking, dude. Oh my god! And what else is it? Is it that scene?
Yes.
When Baraka falls in, it's not even Baraka.
No, it's other footage from Smoke. Is it? No,
it was from when Rain got hit in earlier.
Rain.
We
Yes.
see the same fucking footage from a different goddamn angle. They couldn't even film Baraka. Fuck, dude. And like, let's not even get started on the look of Baraka in this one, dude. I don't know what was going on here. I feel like and I granted the costume was all digitized and shit like that in MK2, but MK2 costume looked better than this fucking shit.
Yeah.
And that was made from a crap fucking Halloween store mask.
He looked like an ass hemorrhoid, pretty much. A big old pile.
Oh my god, dude. With his fucking huge ass Popeye forearms hiding his giant fucking toenail blades that I don't fucking know, dude. This movie is just
It's a fucking train wreck, but we got a soft spot for it.
Yeah. It's so fucking terrible. And half of the people are just fucking fodder. Oh my god.
Fucking Mr.
Wet
Pink
and
Lunch.
Wild Mr. Poppy. Shiva, she was in it. She jumped. She like had a little powwow with Motaro for 2 seconds. And then she gets crushed by a fucking cage. Like, woo.
You got caged.
Right? Like, that would have been a perfect Johnny Cage opportunity. But no, they kill my fucking boy off in 15 seconds into the fucking movie.
Dumb fucking idiots.
He
was the best thing about the first one.
I think it was because they didn't have Lyndon Ashby, dude. So they were just like, you know what? Fuck off. And they just slapped that character in the face. Like,
even that actor was probably like, he's probably first day on set. I just want to die. Get me off the fucking set.
Right.
Can we write this in somehow?
It was probably his first movie. He was just like, whatever, dude. Like, and it sucks though, man, because like he definitely looked like a good kind of Cage. Like, he was definitely a B version of Lyndon Ashby. It was kind of funny, or the surefine version of it. Ooh, I got Jade over here on the TV. Sorry, I got distracted. No, man, this Shinnok. What the fuck's with Shinnok in this, dude? I don't know what's going on with him.
With a goatee.
Right. It's just like, okay, Shinnok's a dude in a cloak, or yeah, whatever. And there's things that we could have got and we didn't get, and I'm kind of mad about that too. But I think with that, should we dive behind the curtain a little bit, buddy?
I think we should. I mean, like you said, we could pick apart this film all day. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Pete, they made Shinnok his dad.
You know what we didn't even do? We never even did the fucking plot rundown. You want to take that away, brother?
Yeah, I'll have a crack. So, continuing right after the event of the first movie, it appears that the evil Emperor Shao Kahn had a contingency plan in case Shang Tsung lost the tournament. With the aid of his generals, he announces his plan for world takeover by merging the realms. With the help of the recently resurrected Queen Sindel. Now it's up to Raiden and his warriors to put a stop to Khan, but even with new fighters joining the team, as well as new techniques learned along the way, will it be enough to stop the takeover before it's too late and the merger is complete?
Dun 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 dun. Yeah. So we obviously did our discussion portion. The CGI of the merger. That shit is so fucking ridiculous, dude. You just see the Eiffel Tower fucking
The
just
Golden Gate
erecting.
Bridge.
Yeah, dude. I love how I love how the Eiffel Tower is just like fucking just like it's just erecting out of the ground. Yeah, like a really slow fucking rocket. Just terrible, awful, terrible. Terribly amazing. So let's do some behind the scenes. All right. So, Mortal Kombat Annihilation is loosely based on the 1995 video game Mortal Kombat 3. If you couldn't tell by the terrible costumes adorning it, while featuring also character rosters from Ultimate MK3. There were some plot elements from 4, however, those scenes were cut. And I would say yes and no, because we still have Shinnok in the movie, and Shinnok is totally 4. So yeah, you know, it's still there. And also shout out to Pete Ward. Yeah, why is Shinnok, Shao Kahn, and Raiden's dad? What the fuck is this crap? Get out of here with this shit. Moving on. While the original attracted casual movie goers as well as gamers, Annihilation catered exclusively to the gamers themselves. Producer Lawrence Kasanoff said that he was trying to make a film even more spectacular than the first movie, which had earned a healthy $73 million in the United States. Annihilation is 3 times more ambitious than Mortal Kombat. Our theme for the sequel was to shoot for more fights, more special effects, more Outworld, more everything. Mr. Kasanoff, this is a little note to you. Listen, man, I thank you for this movie because it's still part of my fucking, growing up, whatever. I don't give a shit. It's just part of my past. Listen, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Less is more, mate.
Yeah, indeed. Like, I am glad that we went with the aggressiveness of like, okay, let's do MK3, because MK3, like, everybody loved MK3. Ultimate MK3, obviously, that was the bigger of it. And then we got Trilogy, but because we did get elements of MK2 in the first Mortal Kombat, but give us MK2, give us the tournament and Outworld. We just skipped that shit. We went right to the merger, which is fine. But it's like if you didn't skip that step, you could have just added a few more characters and sussed them out a little better. We could have got a whole nother amazing movie, and then that led into the third one, or potentially a third one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
and he's up on the special effects because they're fucking atrocious, mate.
And I mean, I want to say kudos on trying to give one to the gamers, because usually that doesn't happen. But I feel there's a reason that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Because, like, you're never going to appease all the gamers. Everybody's got different opinions of everything fucking else and how it should be and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And sometimes what could work in a game doesn't necessarily work in a movie and vice versa. It just doesn't. It's getting to the point where maybe it can now, depending on how you know what I mean? But, like, for the most part, there's certain formats that just have a certain niche about them either way. Moving on, though Annihilation attempted to continue in the style of the first movie, the cast of the returning characters from the original was almost completely overhauled. Only Robin Shao, Liu Kang, and Talisa Soto Katana reprised their roles, while the only other actor to return was Keith Cook, who played Reptile in the first film, and he was Sub-Zero.
Fucking Cookie.
Yeah. You killed my older brother. I killed you in the tournament. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I remember as a kid, I was really happy that we got the MK3 maskless Sub-Zero with the scar. Like, that made me very happy.
Yeah.
But I was so pissed off because it was just like, it's almost like video game fashion, where he was just some like NPC along the fucking way. You know what I mean? He helps you with fight some boss, and then he's like, all right, see you later. And then we never see his ass again. I was like, wait, where the fuck did Sub-Zero go? Like, what the fuck was that all about? I'm here to help her. Oh, she's gone. All right, fuck you guys. See you later. I'm out. Fucking A, dude. You want to take the next one, brother?
Yes, I can. So the French release of the movie was known as Mortal Kombat Destruction Finale, or Final Destruction, while the Italian release was titled Mortal Kombat Distruzione Totale, Total Destruction.
Ooh.
Very suave of the. Yeah. Originally, there was supposed to be a different ending where we see Shinnok in the Netherrealm speaking with the sorcerer Quan Chi, saying that their plans are all in motion, which was supposed to lead up to a third installment. While Quan Chi was cut, he still appears in some posters and international versions of the Laserdisc and DVD.
Now, where the fuck was this ending, dude? Why didn't that stay? Give us fucking if you're gonna go all the characters you just did, give us fucking Quan Chi at the end, man. You know what I mean? Like maybe they thought
I think the producers would have seen this film in the editing suite and said, cut that ending because we're not going to have a third after this.
I mean, that's very true. They probably knew this making it. They're just like, what is this piece of shit? Like, just get it done. Just get it fucking done. We got to fucking we already announced that it's going to be in theaters. We got to wrap this shit up. No, I don't know, man. It's
it's fucking atrocious.
I wish we got it though. Like, if you're gonna give us 50 fucking characters, why not give us 51? You know what I mean? And in my head, Quan Chi probably would look the best out of this whole movie because he looked amazing in mythologies. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he looked good in that.
Right. And if we can get that in the fucking, I think, what was it, PVG? Go back and check our mythologies. I can't remember the terminology, but I know I said it on that.
Yeah.
But those in-game movies of old, and if he looked that good, like, we should be able to get at least that in this movie. You know what I mean?
Do you know what would have been cool with that ending? If we're doing a POV shot of Shinnok walking into like this big room and we hear these screams and then the doors open up or whatever it is, and it's just Quan Chi that's ripped some bloke's leg off, beating him to death with it. And then he turns around and is like, oh, Shinnok.
Yes. Nice MK4 reference. I like it.
Fucking oath. That would have been perfect.
I mean, not that we would have got the brutality. Not even, obviously, this one, we didn't get the brutality that we also wanted. Not that we got it in the first one, but, you know, PG-13 and all.
God damn it.
But, so about that third film, buddy, what was that all about?
That was going to be developed, known as Mortal Kombat Devastation. Actors from the original 95 movie were supposed to reprise their roles, as well as a few from Annihilation. The plans fell through as production was halted when Hurricane Katrina destroyed the sets, and also around that time, New Line was picked up and purchased by Warner Brothers.
So that was obviously the changing of a lot of things. When Warner Brothers came in, picked up Midway and all that good shebang. We discussed that on previous episodes before. But the fact that they were actually going to film this shit, they built sets and it got destroyed. So we were going to get a third one. And
even Mother Nature knew it was going to be atrocious.
Yeah, but would it have been if we got our returning cast from 95? Because they were going to bring back, supposedly they were going to bring back Lyndon Ashby. They were going to resurrect Johnny Cage like MK4 did. Where like, and they were going to bring back Lambert as Raiden. The two from Annihilation would have been Sonya returning, that Sonya, and Jax.
Yep, that'd be cool.
And then obviously Robin Shaw, Talissa Soto, and supposedly also Shang Tsung was also supposed to get resurrected. Now, that would have been kind of going more of the MK2 route, but at the same time, like, I wonder if it would have retconned Annihilation, or if it could have just like skipped. You know what I mean? Like, all right, fuck that shit. That just never happened. Make it like a fever dream, like some Freddy fever dream bullshit. I don't know, man. It's crazy to think that they were actually going to do it, and because of obviously that shit, it just got fucked.
You bring back Paul W.S. Anderson for it, and you have two script writers, and I honestly think it could have been as good as the first one.
Right. I mean, he could have cleaned up a lot. I wish, and I think they wanted him to do that, but obviously we mentioned how he did Event Horizon, and that's why he ended up doing this movie. But there was another reason, I think, because I don't know if he was set to direct the third one. I couldn't find anything that necessarily stated him or not. That would have been amazing. I'm trying to think what he would have been doing around that time. I feel like it would have been Resident Evil.
Actually, yeah. I
could, because I mean, the first Resident Evil was 2000, right?
Yeah, 2002.
2002. Okay.
So when did we say this third film was set for?
It didn't say necessarily. It just said we'll look up. I guess we'd have to look up when Hurricane Katrina hit. We're doing a little bit of research here.
Because he did that movie with Kurt Russell, Soldier, in 1998.
Okay, so this would have been in 95. Hurricane Katrina. Wow, so they were gonna make shit in 95
when the OG came out.
And this is I'm sorry, 2005. Why did I say 95? 2005.
Oh, well, he did Alien versus Predator in 04.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Wow, I can't believe they were thinking of doing a third movie that far after this. That far after the second one. Maybe what could have been, you know? Could have retconned that shit. Would have been awesome. Alrighty, what else we got here, brother?
So two big names worked on stunts in this movie. Tony Jaa, who's on the Ong Bak series, doubled as Robin Shaw's stunt double as Ray Park. And Ray Park as Darth Maul from Phantom Menace. And Toad from X-Men. Fuck, I did not even know that myself. He stunt doubled for James Remar. This was also Park's first film role.
Hell yeah. So I believe Park, and he didn't just double for Remar. He also did a couple other ones too. He was another one of those guys that had multiple roles in this right. He was one of the, and you know what's weird? They call them Raptors in this. I don't know. Yeah, that is I don't know why, but they always call them the Raptors. But yeah, I think he was one of those. He was in another part, and then obviously he was Raiden, quote unquote. But motherfucker's got moves.
Oh yes,
got moves for days. What do we got next, buddy?
So both actors playing Mataro and Jax had worked previously together on the hit TV 80s/90s TV show American Gladiators.
Yeah,
makes sense.
What a fucking show that was, and when they tried to reboot it, it was terrible. Like usually most reboots are. But did you ever get a chance to ever watch that, bud?
Do you know what? Yes, we did actually have that screen down here. American Gladiators. Yeah.
That shit was.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say,
go ahead.
Now, I'm hoping I've got this right. Now, American Gladiators, that was a thing where they would do like an obstacle course type thing, was it? And then, if they had to come down to standing like on this long plank and then fight each other with like fucking foam bats and stuff.
Yep. That was that was one of the challenges. So there was always like these two people competing with the obstacle course, and then obviously they had to take on the gladiators. Like the gladiators would try to like slow them down or stop them.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. One of my favorite obstacle course was the one where the gladiator was on the tennis ball turret, essentially.
Yep.
And they had like, what was it? I think it was like 9 stations. I could be off on this. It's been a minute. But they had like, I want to say 9 stations to where they each had one shot at each of these stations to try to hit the target to take out the turret. And like one was like a rocket launcher tennis ball. Another one was like a fucking pump shot bullshit. And I think then like as you got up closer, there was just like 3 loose balls, like just to fucking whip them. But yeah, man, what you were talking about, I always thought of them as giant fucking cotton swabs. I don't know.
Yes.
That's what they always look like. And then obviously that was a great reference in Hot Shots Part Duh when they did that as well. Random fucking side note there. But yeah, what a timed great show, American Gladiators. Jesus Christ.
Tai Trang, best known as Trini, the Yellow Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, auditioned for the role of Jade. However, sadly was turned down.
Boo. Boo.
Boo earns.
Why would they have Boo earns. Why would they not give her fucking Jade, dude? They were like, no, she looks so much better in yellow. No, fuck that, man. Put her in green.
Absolutely.
Let's see that shit. She was awesome in The Crow. Like, she would have been great. Fucking, yeah, like, what the fuck? God damn it.
Fucking stupid idiots, mate. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Gregory McKinney, who played Jax in the 95 film, was supposed to reprise his role. However, due to outstanding health problems, could not do the film. Instead, he was replaced by Lynn Red Williams. McKinney unfortunately passed away the following year in 1998.
Well, rest in power, Mr. McKinney. A little sad news, but...
During an anniversary screening, Robin Shaw revealed that due to a tight schedule and budget, he was pulling double duty as not only the leading man, but also the main martial arts choreographer. He was unfortunately not there during the Scorpion versus Sub-Zero fight, nor the Liu Kang versus Baraka fight. That was Tony Jaa. According to him, these fights were supposed to be very different rhythmatically.
Ooh. Huh. Well, that kind of explains a few little, some things. And I don't know why, but I find that hilarious that he wasn't there to film a fight that his character is involved in. What the fuck, dude? Who fucking did that scheduling? They're like, oh, wait, we got to have Liu Kang versus fucking Baraka. All right, where's Robin Shaw? Oh, he's over here filming that other scene from this. Well, shit, we got to get this fucking wrapped up today. All right, bring in the stunt double. We just won't show his face. What are we going to do? We'll just have him swing around from chains and stuff, and then we'll go get a couple shots from Shao after the fact to like throw in there. So you make it. What the yeah, I know that happens, but really? You couldn't do it one other day? Like, let's just try to get this in a day. It doesn't have to be crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
I just want to see this documentary, a behind-the-scenes documentary on this fucking movie. All these set videos. There's probably none because it would have been a shit show from the sound.
Oh my god!
I just really want to fucking see this. This is like a movie. So what you could potentially do, you could turn it into a comedy. The making of Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Dude, it would just be Robin Shaw. Like, he would just be looking at the camera all the time, like Office style. Just be like. Like, they're like, yo, dude, like, we know you doing this, but we need you to do this at the same fucking time. Like, the motherfucker's already not getting overworked as it is. Like,
and then it's like in the screening, there's that fight that he's not in, and then he like turns to the camera and he's like,
yeah, right. Like,
he didn't even know about it.
Oh man. So I did put this in the behind the scenes, but I do remember this from doing a little research earlier. Put a little funny side note on this shit. Not even side note, a little funny tidbit on this was They didn't even screen this with like actual reviewers before they hit cinemas. They just fucking threw it out cinemas because they knew exactly how much of a pile of shit they fucking had in their hands. That just made me fucking laugh. You know what I mean? When you're just like, nope, we can't even let the critics see this because they're all just going to shit all over it all fucking day.
Oh, fuck.
Bad news bears, dude. Like, just, alrighty. So I think that's enough for our behind the scenes. So let's hit the questions.
Oh, yes.
If you watched it this week, buddy, where did you watch it and what format did you watch it? Or how did you watch it?
Yeah, well, I like I said earlier, I did watch it on YouTube, 720p, fucking mind you.
There you go.
But yeah, I did fall asleep halfway through or near that Bracca's scene fight. Fucking there was a little part of me, like, because I obviously remember the film pretty well, and then I was like, oh, should I waste $4 to watch this film, or should I just do it
Fair.
just to sort of trigger the old memory again? But yeah, no, I did end up watching it, but it did take 2 viewings. Yeah, what about yourself there, Mr. Johnny D?
Well, I actually own the OG fucking DVD, so that's what I got played in the background now. So fuck it, dude. I watched it on that. You know, I don't know if I'd even want this to ever be on 4K. The first one, sure. This one, I don't know.
This
I mean, if they're gonna do it,
mistakes.
if they're gonna do it, I mean, I'd probably still pick it up. But I almost feel like sometimes we've talked about this on Gore More.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I don't know if I'd wipe my ass with a DVD. That might hurt. Just be careful, buddy. Just be careful. But like, I don't know. Sometimes you almost need like the kind of shittier, a little bit grainier, darker. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be super clean because sometimes you need the dirtiness to cover up the fucking shit, the goddamn mistakes. But nope, that's what I watched it on. Good old fucking DVD, buddy.
Yeah, a little bit of a sidebar. I picked up on that with the Puppet Master series, because they're sort of in HD now, and there's one scene where the puppet's climbing up the wall, and you can just see this big, thick fucking cable hanging off the side of the building, and you can see it like someone's pulling the puppet up. But like when you go back to like say the VHS version, you rarely pick up on any of that shit. So yeah, like you said, it's kind of good to have that dark and grittiness. And I bet you if it was 4K with this film, you would pick up fucking everything.
Oh my god, dude! There's so much shit that would just look atrocious, and that CGI would just be even. I don't need to see that CGI any clearer than I already do. You know what I mean? I take my glasses off. Sometimes I wear glasses just in case you wear. Like if I gotta really read and squint, dude, I gotta really wear glasses. All right. So did the opening scene hook you in at all, buddy?
Nah, because they killed off the best character from the first fucking film in the first 5 fucking minutes.
Dude,
I lost interest after that.
So I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say opening scene did hook me in, but it wasn't like a hook, line, and sinker. It was just like, all right, we got a bunch of ninjas dropping out of this sweet fucking CGI sky. So we got 50 ninjas doing backflips and shit with Robin Shaw and Talisa Soto in the middle, and then all of a sudden we get shots of our new Sonya and our 5-second Cage. You know what? Maybe it pulled me in, but it pissed me off. How about I'll say that? Because,
100%.
dude, yeah, when they killed fucking Cage, that was crap. And I'm going to bring up a point actually that my daughter even brought up this morning, and I thought it was kind of funny. Because she came down when I was watching this as I'm doing the show notes and shit. And she's like, Daddy, why does every Mortal Kombat movie start the same way? And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, how come it always starts with that same song? And then it shows the symbol and then it says Mortal Kombat. And I'm like, well, honey, I'm like, they don't all start like that. I'm like, but this one starts like the other one because this one's cheap and it copies them. It tries to just copy the shit. And it's funny though, because that is literally, it's the same fucking intro. They just add Annihilation to the bottom of Mortal Kombat. They're just like, yo, dude, just rip it from the first. People love that shit. Just throw it on again. And
I'm actually impressed she picks up on that. That's fucking awesome.
Right? I mean, I don't know if that's I mean, that's awesome, but at the same time, maybe I've made her watch them too many times to enough that where she could pick it up.
Film critic.
Right? Film critic at 7. Daddy, what is this crap? This is shit.
Doesn't take a 7-year-old to figure that out about this film.
Right, dude? If a 7-year-old's coming in, Dad, this movie sucks. You know what? You're not wrong, honey. You're not wrong. Fucking A. Pete's throwing me off with his comments. I gotta throw this one up. So Mr. Pete Ward says Raiden fucking loses his powers to get a buzz cut and die. Way to go, dude. You also raised a serial killer son. That's what he did at the end. That's what he went and did when he turned into some fucking cloudy mist instead of being Raiden and fucking going away by a lightning bolt or some fucking Shazam bullshit. No, he's just like mystic particle wave evaporation. It's like, wait, what? What just fucking happened, dude? Just fucking A, dude. This movie sucked. This movie sucked so fucking hard.
Fucking dad goals. Old Shao Kahn should have been sprayed on the drapes, I reckon.
Yeah, right. Fucking damn.
Wait, does that make them like? I want to know what the age difference is between them. Does that make them twins and one was good, one was bad, or fucking?
I would have to say, this is just my thought. If we're gonna go with this whole like this
Brother
weird
shit.
fucking lore of Raiden and Shao Kahn being brothers, I'm gonna have to say Raiden's the older brother.
Yeah.
And Shao Kahn is the, but at the same time, like maybe not. Maybe Shao Kahn's the older one, and that's why he's more like Shinnok, and then like Raiden's different because I don't know. It's hard to say because like Shinnok's supposed to be an ex-elder god, right?
Yep.
So like, you know, when he turned, did he only turn like secretively with Shao Kahn? I mean, that's a lot of weird back lore potentially for this. That's a good question, though. Who would be older amongst the two of them? I want to say Raiden, but it's just the white hair, but it has nothing to do with the age for him, seeing there is a god.
Yeah.
Who would you think?
I would have said Raiden. I don't know. It just
feels like it should be Raiden.
Like he's been this old ancient motherfucker, but yeah, there was no need to introduce this into the fucking story at all.
No,
it just makes the film even worse.
Like, who the fuck was like, you know what? We should make them brothers. Why? It has nothing to do with nothing.
No,
we already talked about kind of who he was in the first movie. He's an emperor from fucking Outworld who's merging other realms. Okay, great. Raiden's the protector of Earth realm. Like, why? Once again, too many writers on this piece of shit. Probably too many producers as well. Cash fucking grab, dude. I don't know you know what I mean?
Last minute decisions.
So, favorite character in this shit bag of fucking movie here?
I just went with Liu Kang. I mean, you know, he doesn't really change in character.
Fair enough.
Like, he's just basically still the same dude from the first film, which I happen to like. So
I will agree. Liu Kang, Robin Shaw definitely like holds this movie together to me.
Yep,
because
100%.
Now, I will say, and it's not really his fault. He did what he could do. But I feel like, oh God, what's his name? I'm gonna fucking forget it right now. Lynn Williams as Jax. I thought he did a pretty good Jax, man. Like he always made me laugh. I liked all the scenes that he was in.
Yep.
Obviously they went weird with the fucking whole arm story in this, where they were just like cybernetic enhancement sleeves.
Yeah, because they get ripped off, don't they?
He rips them off. He gets damaged, and then like he's just like he rips them off. He's like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking man," and then just beats
now
the
you're
shit
a
out of
man.
fucking, yeah, exactly right. And then he just beats the fucking shit out of goddamn Motaro with his fist. But I as cheesy as they are, I like the look of his arms in this movie. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's just something with like the jacket, dude, with the arms. Like, I just thought like it looked pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, out of all the shit in this movie, they don't look terrible. Just my opinion, though. It might be a hot take, but
No, that's okay, mate. I'm not here to judge.
But I don't know. I guess like he had some of the great one, like he had some funny one-liners and shit like that, and he had some of the cooler fights. Which we're going to talk about in the next question. Yep. So leading from that is favorite fight, buddy.
Well, I actually had the Cyrax fight with Jax and Sonya. I mean, it was actually like, well, Sonya's fighting was actually pretty decent, I thought as well. But I really look, the one thing, if I'm going to say that I liked about this film, was Cyrax's entrance. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, he's a fucking robot, you know, and just to blow all the fucking windows out and all that shit, you know, that was pretty decent.
Absolutely.
And the fight goes for a little bit too. Like it's actually a pretty lengthy fight scene.
And I mean, they kind of shaft Sonya in that fight. I feel, in my personal take, just because you got two main characters, and obviously you just introduced Jax. So you want to show off what Jax can do. We already know what Sonya can do. We already seen her for the first whole movie, and she's already fought a little bit in this one already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they just throw like three random ass fucking ninjas, like 3 or 4 random ass ninjas, faceless motherfuckers at her, and they're like, all right, that's fodder for her to keep her busy in the background. So while Jax fights our man, fucking Cyrax. But it was just something about that whole fight. Like, I don't know, like, not even just the way it was kind of like filmed, like, because it was filmed just like a generic fight scene, like maybe a little better because it was it wasn't like today's fight scenes or anything like that. We're still talking 90s cheese fight. But he looked awesome. And, he had his little bombs. It was a weird way they did it, but they still gave him his net where it like dematerialized, like it fucking like ate that motherfucker away. I don't know what you want to call that. Dematerialized, ate it like acid, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's just he sounded cool. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Death is the only way out. I would also say the smoke fight, because I mean, go back to our ultimate or go back to our MK3 discussion, but Robot Smoke was my fucking dude. Cyber Smoke, sorry, I should say it the right way. Cyber Smoke was my guy, and so when I saw him in the film the first time, I was like, oh, yes. But then they give him fucking Sector's missile launch. What the fuck, dude? Like, if you're not going to have Sector, then just don't have Sector. But don't put your fucking moves on my fucking, you know what I mean? Like, no. Give him his fucking spear. What the fuck is that bullshit? But yeah, man, I feel like the Cyrax Jax fight was like the best one in this whole film, hands down.
Absolutely.
Obviously you could say you enjoy the Sonya Molina one in the mud. That was kind of a nice little like. It wasn't an epic fight, but it was a nice little like. All right, she does look good in mud. Thank you, Jax. And I will say Nightwolf did look badass, but unfortunately we didn't get any fights with him, so I gotta agree with Pete on that.
Yep.
And his animality didn't like his morph back was not terrible.
No.
Like that was like the one thing I feel like they actually took time on. They were like, you know what, that like okay.
That's
It
probably where all
works.
the money. That's probably where all the money went in this fucking film, into that,
Right.
because it actually didn't look too bad.
So while we're still on fights, let's talk the animality fight. Shao Kahn versus Liu Kang. So Liu Kang turns into a dragon, but it's not the dragon that we know him turning into, but it's still a dragon nonetheless. I'll give him that. E for effort. What the fuck does Shao Kahn turn into? A Hydra? What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I think it was a Hydra.
It was like King Ghidorah in this bitch, dude. Like just fucking come.
It's random as fuck. I don't even know how Shao Kahn would have an animality of a fucking Hydra for a start.
Right? Like just Hydra. Okay. And that fucking head morph. Like he's fucking having like this fucking
Conehead.
goddamn fucking. He's like having an O face while he's doing. He's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
daddy.
what the fuck, man? Like you know what we should have had for animalities? Have you ever watched the movie The Guyver?
Wait, what movie?
The Guyver.
No. I've never heard of it.
The quick random sidebar. There's fighting in it in martial arts, so I don't give a shit. It kind of works for this. Dude, The Guyver is a movie where it's super Power Rangers-esque, right? But it's still aliens, but it's more just so like, oh my God, Luke Skywalker there. I can't think of his fucking real name at the moment. Brain farm. Mark Hamill. He gets this alien symbiote that attaches to his head, and the symbiote becomes like armor that he can like call out at will because it's like has combined with his DNA and all that good shit. And there's these other aliens that are trying to get this armor because it's like the ultimate armor of like the universe. Yep. And all these like aliens are people, and then they morph into these fucking crazy alien creatures, dude. And this was practical effects, man. They look fucking awesome.
I have fucking seen this movie. I just looked it up. Yes, I have fucking seen this movie.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome. Like he has got the sweet armor, and he's got fucking knives that come out of his fucking elbows and shit, dude. Like they're actually like fucking swords. They're fucking huge. The second one was cheesy as fuck, pretty much like this movie as well. The second one was Dark Hero, but it still wasn't terrible. But yeah, like why couldn't they do the animalities like that? You know what I mean? Like that would have been, because there was a giant monster at the end. I mean, it was practical effects, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like that could have been like so much better.
Absolutely.
Practical is always the way to go. Maybe I'm just way off, but
holy fuck, this has actually blown my mind. I remember thinking about this like a couple of months ago, and I was like, what the fuck is that movie?
The Guyver?
Thank you, John.
Dude, The Guyver was a movie I used to watch on HBO all the fucking time. Loved it.
Holy fuck. I wonder if I can watch it.
I never watched the anime series, and I know it got a pretty decent following, but
do you know what? Produced by Brian Usner and directors Steve Wang and Screaming Mad George. Fuck yes. Sold me every day of the goddamn week. It's got Michael Berryman in it. Sorry to tangent on this.
No, you're fine, dude.
Nostalgia as fuck. I haven't seen this since I was literally 10.
What year is that, dude? Now that you're looking at that shit, is that 95?
This is the same age as me, 1991.
The Guyver came out in 91?
Yep, so it is 30 years
What?
old.
Dude, it's even older than I thought. I thought it was like later 90s. What? Really?
Damn, yes.
That's a whole different fucking podcast right there, buddy.
Sorry, I'm going to be watching this fucking shit today, and hopefully I can find it. Thank you.
Dude, you know what? Now I got the itch to watch it too. Oh man. All right, let's stop talking about good movies. Let's go back to shitty movies. Let's go talk about fucking Annihilation again. All right. Okay. So we did our favorite fight. So we both like the Cyrax fight. Got to give it up to that one. That was great. Favorite kill or fatality in this movie, if you could think of any.
Well, yeah, I've got written down here the random guy that Cyrax dissolves with some acid substance.
Ooh.
Looks shit
on
film.
I'm going to call that his net. You know what? I'm going to give it to him that's his green net.
Like it looks shit in the film, but the idea would have looked good on paper. And, you know, like, yeah, I'll just have to go with that. I just got to go with that because this movie, yeah. I honestly, I remember I saw that yesterday when I watched it. I'm like, you know what? That's probably the only coolest fucking kill in this whole film. I mean, we get to see people get kicked in the head and then they're dead. I mean, what the fuck's that about? For a start.
Yeah, right. We get who does Shao Kahn feed to that weird CGI fucking monster?
Is it what's her name? Fuck, I just had the Sheila and the Asian woman in the green. Fuck me. I just forgot.
Oh, Jade. Yeah.
Jade, sorry.
Yeah.
Jade, yes. Fuck.
That was pretty fucking I almost kind of want to go over that because just how terrible it was.
Yeah.
Like she just fucking and then it fucking burps and then fucking goes back into its fucking statue. Oh man.
Fucking
I'm gonna have to go with that's my worst one, but favorite. I'm gonna almost have to agree on that, buddy. The Cyrax kill, the meltdown was just, that shit was pretty sweet. And then most traumatizing kill was Johnny Cage.
Yes,
that
you
shit,
sons of bitches.
Yeah, that should be a fucking question. The most traumatizing kill. Did the score set the mood, buddy?
Look, yeah, absolutely. Like it definitely sticks to the original source material of that 90s techno. Yeah, just pretty much like the first film. This film was heavily, obviously, influenced from the first film. It actually had shit brought over from the first film to be used in this. So, yeah, I think it does. I think it does set the mood.
I would have to agree. You got that sweet EDM going on. And some of the score is obviously on the soundtrack itself because just like the first movie, they brought in other like real music going on. You know, we get the original theme song from Immortals a couple times in the intro again, like we mentioned, and at the end, and I think like sometime in the middle. And we get a lot of good shit. But yeah, I would say, like I said at the beginning of the movie or beginning of this episode, I think the soundtrack or score is one of the best things from this fucking film.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So that being said, favorite song, brother?
Rammstein. Angel.
Yeah. Good fucking.
Yeah.
Good
It's always been one of my favorite songs, even to play on the old guitar. So to hear it on the soundtrack's even better. But the sad thing is that the soundtrack is better than the fucking film.
It is, dude. It really fucking is.
It's
I think I'm gonna have to go with Megadeth, man.
Ooh,
Almost honest on this one, dude. Like, there's
fucking
a lot of them.
solid.
Rammstein was good. KFDM, Megalomaniac, that one was good for its fucking time.
Yeah.
Psychosonic. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go Megadeth though. Almost honest for me.
I nearly went Megadeth.
I could, yeah. I mean, the Rammstein one, dude. This was actually my first introduction to Rammstein.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if that's sad or however you want to take that, but
No.
I guess you got to get introduced to them somehow or another. But yeah, that
it
was
either going to be this film or Triple X.
Ooh, fair point. Fair point. All right, so acting, good or bad?
Yeah, well, Robin Shaw reprising his role again. I think it was perfectly represented in this film from the first film. Yeah, but the rest, I mean, I've got to give a bit of a shout out to Talisa Soto.
She wasn't bad either.
Yeah, she was pretty solid. But the rest just did not do it for me. Even James Remar, and I fucking love James Remar. This was just not hit for him at all. He
was just not a good Raiden.
No, far from it.
And you know what, man? That dude has definitely come into his own since this movie. I will say that because yes, he plays great, and not just in Dexter, dude. He's been in so many other things, but just his voice acting work alone, he's great with, dude. He does a lot of shit with his voice acting, man, and it's. I'm trying to think like right off the bat. I know he does a bunch of stuff on DC. Oh my god, I think he played Hawkman actually on a thing I just watched. I think he was Hawkman on the episode for Justice League something or another. But yeah, man, that dude's. This just was not the role for him. And it might even not have been his fault, dude. Maybe he could only do with so much with what he was given. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, yep. Is it Black Lightning? Was that what you were thinking of?
Black Lightning? I never watched that show, actually. I always meant to.
Because it says he's been in Gotham, the TV series.
I know. Well, no, I mean, he's done voice acting. Like, I think he's been in, like, some of the animated DC movies. On top of like some of the cartoon series and shit. Yep. And I'm trying to think what the hell else. He's like I said, he's done a lot of voice acting and stuff like that, but I'm trying to think what the hell was he in Starship? No, he wasn't in Starship.
He was in the Warriors as Ajax. Ooh. Remember that? Like how long ago that was. Fuck.
Yeah, right. Fucking hey, dude.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So yeah. Shaw was good. Soto was good. Jax was okay. Obviously, he had some cheesy one-liners. Sonya was okay. And then everybody else around after the fact was just fucking terrible, dude. The deliveries were awful, laughable. If anything, dude, if you've never watched Annihilation or if it's been a long time, just go watch it for a fucking laugh, dude.
Yes.
Watch it with your boys, roll a fat J, get some popcorn, dude, and just sit back and fucking enjoy the pure 90s fucking cheese in a can. That being said, how was the cinematography of this pile?
Yes. No. Just like I said earlier, it just felt like it was either feels like a TV film or it's a fan film.
TV film would be a very good analogy of that.
Yeah, an expensive TV film, if that. But yeah, look, some of the fight scenes were okay, I guess. But if you really had to like break it down to the lighting and especially the green screen, all that stuff was not keyed out properly. I mean, we could sort of see a bit of fuzz around some of the characters, and yeah, I just did not. Well, that was actually one of the first things I picked up. Was the keying behind the characters from the green skin. They didn't key them out properly enough. If you really look closely, you can see a bit of fuzz around their head, and it looked fucking atrocious.
Yeah, cinematography was crap. They tried a few different things during some of the fights. Like, I will say, like, Melina's entrance, I enjoyed because it was just the forearms with the size, like, even though, like, Melina sucked in this, like, at least her entrance was kind of cool. And once again, the fight scene going with Cyrex and Jax, there was a cool couple little shots, like, just behind the shoulder, and just so you can get the looks of the costumes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't anything blow your mind or really worth talking about. It's just, if you could pick anything decent out of it, though, I would say those few spots.
Yeah. But
once again, that's not really, nothing huge here. So this question is actually kind of funny. Does it hold up today, buddy? Did it hold up in 97? I should probably ask that.
I don't even think it held up then, did it? Like, fucking.
I don't think it did, man. I think when people saw a lot of that CGI, even though it made money worldwide, they were just like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? Like, they took like what they had amazing. Like, go watch the first one again and look at the set design in the first one. and then fucking figure that shit out. You know what I mean? Go from there. Like, that was one thing here. We get desert, some more desert.
Yep.
Like, fake cave system.
One location that's like a part of one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Yeah.
Which is Raiden's temple.
Which is
that
like,
good.
And right, but that's used for like a third of the fucking movie. Is all the shit around that area. And it's like, I don't know. It could have did better than that. Especially with the budget they had. It wasn't like they didn't have that inexpensive of a budget or that cheap of a budget.
As much as I really wanted to like this film, I even went to the extent of trying to find things I like about this film. And, sadly, I just couldn't. I couldn't. Like I said earlier, I really did like Cyrax's entrance, but that was probably the only fucking thing that really,
right.
I was just
not redeemable, not redeemable enough for the whole entire movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was just, I don't know. I mean, like I said, we had Mataro, who does fucking nothing in this film, and then he like dies by being punched in the head. I mean. Yeah, I just can't work this film out. It's just fucking
fair enough.
I don't know. Like you said, I could potentially like it for all the wrong reasons. But I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me, especially when that first one's so great and doesn't have to rely heavily on special effects, production design.
No, we had terrible CGI in the first one. Reptile gas. Okay. Fair. That's a fair point. But it wasn't just so overly used. You know what I mean? Like we had real legit fights. We had good I mean, we have CGI in the Sub-Zero fight, but we shit on that fight for how that ended. You know what I mean? That's crap. Yep. But I have to agree, man. Does it hold up today? No, it doesn't at all. Nostalgia factor, that's about it. That's all it's got. Yep. And even that's pretty fucking weak. It's I don't think it held up I don't think it held up in 97. I think I'm surprised it actually made more like double its amount worldwide. But then you're talking worldwide. So, it's at least they did what they had to do, and it was potentially going to get us a third one, even though it never happened. Yep. So all of that, even though we poo-pooed all on it, how do you like the premise of the movie?
Yeah, I don't know. Like when we spoke about the script earlier, too many cooks in the kitchen trying to convolute a story together, and it just shambled it. I mean. Yeah, I don't know. It could have had potential. It really could have had potential. But like I said, it just feels basically like it's a second draft of a script, and it's like very rushed, and it's like, well, this totally makes sense with all these characters in there. And it's basically like what we said earlier. A film to introduce all these characters in there, and they go nowhere, pretty much. It's just to give the fans what they want.
Yep, it's just to be like, hey, I know that person. I know that person. I know that person too. It's just so they can add more names into the song when it's going down the character list of the song. Ermac, Noob Sabat. Can we talk about Noob Sabat for a second?
Yes.
And like how fucking weak as piss his fucking just. I'm gonna come out of Ermac's chest. Yep. I'm gonna kick Sonya in the face. I'm gonna die from Jax. Like, okay, what the fuck just happened there? I wasn't even sure the first time I saw that. I was like, I wasn't even sure that was Noob Sabat. So like, I watched it again, and I was like, oh, yep, that definitely is supposed to be, I guess. But oh man, so premise. I mean, they pulled it off better in the MK3. They didn't bring it over to script wise well at all. I I think they tried going too hard with it. I think they should have taken that shit back and given us a proper tournament in Outworld before we went to the merger realm. Suss out the characters a little more. Explain a little bit more stuff, maybe with like Queen Sindel and Quintana. You know what I mean? Explain their mother-daughter relationship. Explain Shao Kahn better. Get Shao Kahn nicer looking armor, or get somebody way more buff than this fucking dude. I mean, yeah. Oh, fuck. Randomly enough, though, speaking of buff guys, stink bug. Sly Stallone was supposedly who they wanted to play Baraka in this movie.
Are you fucking serious?
Right. Why Sly Stallone would you want to be Baraka? You're going to put him in some shit fucking mask. You would never even know it's Sly Stallone.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard.
Why? Yeah. And think of how much they would have wasted on their budget to just get Sly Stallone, dude. Like, I don't even know if they ever got the script to him to tell him so he could even laugh it off or not, but you know.
just get someone bald like Vin Diesel, apply some makeup to him, and
right.
Yeah, have it actual like a proper live fucking action instead of, like I said earlier, a hemorrhoid mask. It looked fucking terrible. Oh my god.
It was an awful, awful design. Like I said, dude, I think Conquest does a better version with its costumes than fucking this movie did. And Conquest was a fucking WB show with a cheap ass budget. But at least they reutilized it. I don't even care if you want to call it reused or not, recycled, whatever. They fucking reused the costumes, at least for Scorpion and Sub-Zero from MK95, which still looked 1,000 times better than the shit we got in this fucking movie.
What was going on with Scorpion's mask in this fucking film?
It was the MK3 mask. I mean, I love MK. I love the MK3 ninja design, but this shit just looked like some EVA foam, fucking just done up super. It just looked. I don't know.
It looked like 5 miles of fucking bad road. That's what it looked like. It was atrocious.
Oh fuck, buddy. All right. So that being said, let's rate this bitch. We going out of 5 on this? We'll go out of 5.
Yeah, we go out of 5. Yeah.
So what do you got out of 5 for? What do we say? How many Broken Dragon logos out of 5 do you want to give MK Annihilation?
I was actually gonna, well, fuck, I don't know, because there's this part of me saying to give it a 0.5 and a 1, but now I'm actually thinking I might just give it a 2. I'll give it a fucking 2 if I'm generous.
Okay.
Yeah. Because of the soundtrack.
You know, I'm gonna have to. I almost feel like I'm just gonna have to go with the solid 2 as well. Not to copy your Steez or anything like that.
No,
but that's where it feels like it kind of feels like it needs to be. Yeah. I enjoy it, and I just because sometimes you just like garbage. That's fine. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I just sat here for an hour and a half shitting on this movie, and I still will watch it like in a couple months just for the fuck of it, because I watched the first one. I'm like, all right, let's keep this train going. You know what I mean? Like, it's just part of it. And obviously
we still get our fight. No, we still get our fight scenes. We get new characters, a kick-ass soundtrack. I mean, that should be enough in itself to give it a solid fucking 2.
The soundtrack was dope as hell. The soundtrack could almost bump it to a 3 if I literally just thought about it as a soundtrack. But the CGI and the acting is terrible. The writing was crap. And we got to be honest about this one. We love our MK, but you know what I mean? This was just not good. It was shit from the start. So, all right. So you get a fatality score of 2 for Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Dun, dun, dun. All righty. So that brings us to the end of our episode. So next week will actually be our finale episode. We feel like ending it on 12 episodes is a good key. We were originally only going to do 6. So we actually doubled what we're going to do, but we're not just going to end it. We're still going to talk some good MK shebang. So we're going to talk Conquest. We're going to talk a little bit of Defenders of the Realm, and we're going to talk a little Legacy, and what even spawned Legacy, a little Mortal Kombat Rebirth. We're not going to dive into these as much as we do the other things. These are going to be little snippets here and there, almost like a 5 to 10 minute review of each one. And then we'll kind of go from there. And then I think we'll have a nice little coffee talk discussion of the podcast and how we feel about it, and and where we want to go, and where we can go with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And yeah, so same time, same place next week.
Baby.
I would say that's about it. I'm your Fluff Master Supreme, Big Johnny D. See you guys later.
This is your doppelganger Kangenbanger all the way from down under saying, I'll catch you next week for the finale, motherfuckers.
Woo!